Hi, this video I'm going to talk about React login connecting with the Restful APIs. So I posted a few articles about INF3 and Angular to connect with the PHP Restful API. If you have chance, read this and you can watch this video. I explain how to create a tables and create a RESTful token. If you see that there is a small PHP coding here, and you will understand, and I explained the same thing in this video as well. If you see my console here, um, I'm going to the network, yeah, so I'm giving some fake password, and it gives, like, bad request. This is what my API URL, and I'm sending the username and password, and if it is true, if it is fails, it comes like this. If I'm giving a right password like 1234556, if I log in, you will see that you have the right password. So that's why it got the actual response with the entire user details. With the feed also, it's connected. That feed is like whatever I updated here, so that feed I'm calling again. And if I click on logout, it's coming out. Now come to our project. Like we stopped last time, we stopped here. Let's continue that with creating a login page quickly. uh, for this, like, go to the project, there is a login component, so go to the login. I'm just creating a label called like username, and the input like type text, and the name is username, and placeholder if you want to give for some extra information. So I'm giving username. The same way, I'm just duplicating this and pasting it, changing to password, and the type is password, and name is also password. I'm just saving it, and let's see. Yeah, so you have to give the proper name, so maybe it's my bad. So I'm giving a proper HTML tag names. Let's see. Yeah, I created username and password. Let's give some, yeah, because the footer is coming up. So if there is a common class you can give, this is what, like, I'm giving, like, it's a body part. So I write some class in the custom class, like, got like minimum height, some 450 px, and let's go back. See, it's actually occupying the 450 px. So now I'm giving a small button here to connect with the thing. So if you want, you can give button, or if you want, okay, I'll give some input type submit, and the value is login, and I'm giving a class name is like, there's a default class name is called button, and this is called, yeah, it's a default login, right? So I'm not giving anything. So yeah, I'm just save it and see the button came. Yeah, now back to the coding. Like, we need to write some states, and whatever user is typing here, we need to, like, same way in the Angular, how you're going to do scope, changing the scope. So start with the constructor props and create a super props. This will initiate this. So, and I'm creating a state. So here, like, I'm just creating like username is empty, because the same thing I'm going to send it to the backend as well. So I'm going to use this state as like my post data. So, and I'm giving something else called password. So this is an object, so no equal to's. Okay, changed it now, and I'm going to create a small function called login. So I'm just giving some console log, it is coming or not, let's see. So how are we going to call that? So on click, this dot login. So, and in React, like whenever you create a new function, you have to bind with the super this. So this is very simple, like this dot login equal to this dot login dot bind this, because sometimes this will not bind, so you cannot use the main state. So always you have to bind this. So now you can use this this here anywhere. So yeah, let's, whenever I type something, I need to change this value. So that's what for that I'm going to create a small function called onChange. So this is onChange. Whenever I create a function, the same way you have to duplicate it. You just change it and bind with the super this. And now whenever onChange, initiate, call this onChange function, the same way for password. Okay, so let's see that this login is working or not, this console is not coming or not. Let's see, I'm typing something coming here. So just go back here, got refreshed, inspect element, go to the console. I'm just clicking this button, see it's coming to the login function. If I'm typing something, it's coming here. How much time I'm typing, it's coming here. So both the functions are working. Here I'm going to change the state value. So for changing the state value, this dot set state, and here is the name, so username colon. So here you can, like, element you can call, so whatever it is typing, that's called the element. So you can call directly, like, e target element dot target dot value. So whatever value it comes, that value it initiates to the username. The same way you can set it to the password as well. Let's see it is setting or not. Let's go here. Yeah, try to install a React Developer Tool extension. So add to the Chrome. Yeah, go to the React tab and you'll find some more options, like, what are the states are there, props, everything. So but I'm just I'm trying to print this state after onChange. It's changing or not, we'll see. So whenever I'm typing something, it is setting to the state value, I mean this state value. The same way you have to change it to the password as well. But this is actually not good practice. So because if you are adding a number of inputs, instead of the specifying this name, you have to maintain the same common names. Instead of that, e dot target dot name. So this way, like, so this is an object, so you have to keep it in this way. So this way it automatically sets for password and username as well. Yeah, I'm just printing that again. This dot state, let's see the console. Now username is setting, and see that password also setting. Yeah, so we are changing the state value by setting the set state. So onChange is working fine now. Yeah, so back to the code. I'm going to create one small service. Before that, you have to read a React networking article. Like there is a by default fetch, like how we are going to write in the jQuery Ajax. The same way here the fetch works. The fetch, like, it returns something. If anything wrong, we are catching as error also. Look, so here I'm going to write a small promise in a in a ES6 way. So I'm creating a small common file. It's kind of a small function. It actually connects to the using fetch. It connects to the API and it gives some response. So I'm call it as like post data.js. So going back, so here this is a simple function. So by default I'm exporting function, export function, and function name is post data. Yes, so if you see my previous articles, like I commonly use for the same way, like I'm taking the type and post data. If you see, this is what where I'm just taking the type and the post data. So the same way, like I use the promise function and I'll return and resolve the values. So let's first of all, I'm just creating a let. It's a small variable kind of thing, like my base URL is this. If you're running through localhost, this URL you change it to localhost PHP RESTful API. So mine is like I hosted here script.com/restful. So this is what my base URL. Every URL going here. So here there are different get and post functions. So here I'm just returning new promise. So that is called resolve and result. Yes. So inside this I'm going to write a fetch function. So this is what the fetch. I'm just copying from this network path. So yeah, I'm going to call this. Yeah, instead of this, we are going to call the base URL plus. Here I am going to type and post data. Like I'm call it as a user data. So type is nothing but if it is a login URL, it is a login. If it is a sign up, and if it is a feed, it basically RESTful slash like login or registration. So that way. So here like this one my base URL. So plus type. Okay, and here you can pass some headers as well. If you see here there is some method post or get. So most of my URLs are post. I'm not using get. So then I'm passing here body. So read this documentation, you will understand that. So JSON, I'm changing to stringify, and this is what the user data, whatever it comes. So there is no semicolon. And yeah, so here is the response and response.json, and here I'm returning something. Instead of that I'm resolving that. So here is a fat arrow function, I missed it. Yeah, so here I'm just resolving this response, and if anything wrong it is a reject. So this error, if any network failures or something. So this is what my function right now. And going back to the login page, first of all we need to import this. So import, so this is the export function, just post data from, yeah, it's services and post data. So I'm going to use this function now. So in the login function, coming here, so I'm just calling that function and type is login, and the user data is log this dot state, because this dot state I'm changing username and password, because the same thing it's going to the login RESTful API. So then here is the result, it will come the resolve thing and then the fat arrow. So here If it is success, you can do whatever you want, like you're redirecting, or if you are setting something, or whatever you want. Like finally, like the response, it comes here, like the result. I mean the response JSON. You can call it as a response JSON. Let's see. I'm just giving console and see what it is printing. I'm getting any response or not. Now back to the page. Yeah, so again a spell mistake. I'm trying to type something here, just giving, and let's see the network, and I'm clearing everything. Let's click give login. It's connecting here. I'm getting some response. Go to the console. I just the response data I'm getting this way. So yeah, now everything looks good. Once this is success, we need to, like, go to the next page. If I give something wrong password, if I give, I'm getting an error, because this way you have to design your RESTful APIs. Just see my previous videos, you'll understand, and follow this article as well. Yeah, so back to this coding. So now we came here. So if you see my response, everything I'm getting in the user data, it's a object name and then email, name, and token. So based on this token, I can insert or delete or something. Initially, after login, I'll get this code. This is a unique code for every user. It is some encryption, hashtag encryption I added. So now back to the here, like, so I'm always checking if this is present or not, because here I'm not giving any user data. So I'm just giving a error and text. So always check result.user data is there or not. So I'm just checking, like, if response json dot user data present, do something else. It's like show some password, like, I mean password error or user error or some, like, show. You can change this all these things later, and you can highlight whatever you want. Right now I'm not going to cover the validation. I'm just giving basic inputs. So always you have to check this in the if condition also, like in the login also, always check the state value is present or not. If this has some value, or like username dot this dot username dot username and this dot state dot password. So I'm just giving a basic password, basic validation, like something is there. You can write some more things here, like is a proper using regular expressions, and you can check before this and go inside. So I'm coming here. As I explained last time, it is a local storage. Today I'm going to use session storage. So it is a browser session storage function dot set item. So whatever I'm getting, the response I'm setting as a user data. So this is a key for my session storage. Using this key again, I'm call that. So here I'm passing this data. Yeah, I'm passing this. I'm setting the data here, like response JSON. So yeah, so this is good. Now here we need to do something to do some redirection, like go to the home page. So how are we going to do that? Like once it got setting up, we need to redirect, do something. So for that, we need to change this render function. So that's why I'm going to use one more key called redirect key, like, so this is false right now, because if this is false, don't do something, like, if I'm always checking this dot state dot redirect. If it is true, do something. So by default, when it loads the page, it's not going here because it's a false. So if it is here, like, I'm changing the redirect value to true. So here just this dot set state, the same way what we did here. So I know the name of that, so this is called redirect, and changing the value to true. So if it is the API successful, it is going to set it to true. So now back to here. So if it is true, redirect to the home page. So there is a small functionality in the router. So try to import that. It's called redirect. So go to the import and redirect. It's called redirect from React router DOM. So I'm using this redirect component. I'm returning something here, like, so redirect just to home. Make this in quotes. Yeah, let's see what is happening now. Now I'm just giving the right password, 123456. I'm just giving a login, and it is going to the home page. Yes, I'm going back to the login page. If I give some wrong password, nothing is happening because it's a login error. If I'm giving 123456, I'm giving login, it's going to the home page. Okay, now go to the home page. If it is session is present, we should not go back to the login page because the data is already present in the storage. If you go to the, I think you will find the session storage here. What data is there? This is what the user data. It is an object. So okay, now go back to the home page. So here we need to write some more check, like if the session data is present, be at the same page. If the session storage is not there, redirect to the login page, because if anybody accesses directly home page, we need to prevent that. So again, come to the render part. Render function, you have to write a small if check and maintain if it is like, I'm just giving like if something, like I'm just giving a 0 here, and then use like return. Yeah, I'm just copying from here, like copy and paste here. So again, I'm working on this redirect instead of that login. So okay, go to the construct again, constructor props super props this dot state. Yeah, the same name I'm going to use again, redirect equal to false. So this is by default equal to false. When we're going to make it true, if nothing is there in the user data, we are going to make it as true. Like React is giving few functionalities like component did mount or will mount or something. So once component renders properly, then it triggers immediately. So there I'm going to write like component will mount I'm going to use. So try to read the documentation, there are so many things. So if I'm just checking the session storage value dot get item, the get item is like user data. This user data refers to this login. We are setting the value here. This is what the key we are calling. So in this key, something is present, like do something like get feeds or something, like console log, like call user feed, else set this value to true because nothing is there. Just redirect to the home page. So this dot set state, and sorry, this redirect true. Okay, home page. Let's see. Oh yeah, redirect. I didn't import this. Let me copy from here. Go to the home and I'm importing the redirect component. Yeah, now everything looks good. Yeah, making true. Yeah. Yes, I'm giving home page now and going back to the login. It's going back to the login. So login also you need to write something like if something is there, don't change this value. So in login also we need to check that this data is present or not. So directly I'm writing a one more if check here in the render function. So instead of here thing like I'm just directly copying this and pasting it here. If something is there in this key, just go to the home page. Now go back to the login page. It'll check it is going to the home page because it's already some data set is present in that. So whenever you click on login, it'll go to the home page. So how are you going to clear the cookies? I mean session data. So you have to write. So here we need to write a logout thing. So here using logout we are clearing the session storage. Then only you can go back to the login page. So that's how we controlled it. If you see in the inspect element also, if come to the home page, if I click on this calling user, it comes to the call user feed. So it is coming here in the home page. It is coming here. So I'm just writing a small logout thing because otherwise yeah, logout console. So here like I'm going to change this value. So instead of that set item, instead of this value I'm setting as an empty, and then giving like set item like clear. There is a clear functionality, and whenever you create a new function, try to bind with this logout, this dot logout bind this. In the home page I'm just creating a small hyperlink or like button. Yeah, type button and the button on click this dot logout. So I'm giving some class name, I mean the class button. Yes, let's see what is going to happen. And yeah, let's go back to the home page. And if once I click on the logout page, it's nothing because we need to write something to redirect back to the login page. But if you click on home page, now it will go back to the login page because the session storage is not there, and that's why it's coming back. But once you log out again, you have to redirect the thing. So the same way, instead of yeah, once log out, we need to change this redirect value. So how we are changing here, the same thing I'm going to make it here as well, because once you log out I'm making as a true. Then it comes here, it goes to the logout page, login page. So just go back now. Now I'm clicking the logout, it going to the login page because the state value changed to true. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 login. Yes, I'm giving back to the logout. The same way we need to change, same way you have to write it for the sign up as well. Yeah, like same thing, and I'm just copy pasting everything from the sign up thing. So I'm just quickly changing this sign up. So here I'm introducing one more thing called email. So this is email and email. Same here, we need on change functionality and the login as well. Instead of login I'm changing to sign up. So pasting here. So this is the sign up. Yes, on change, on change, on change. Instead of that, I'm the sign up. Yeah, and I'm copying this constructor, copy and paste it here. So I'm introducing one more thing called email. Yes, and if you want to maintain the same, like redirecting all the stuff, you can copy it and copy it in the render part. So here also same thing happened. Once it got successful, it redirect to the home page. Here instead of login, we're changing to sign up because that way I designed the RESTful API. So let's, yeah, post data not imported. So let's go back and redirect and post data. I'm importing here. Yes, everything looks good. Yes, now I'm giving a small links here because yeah, so I'm just giving a small hyperlink, changing back to the sign up, like registration here, and if I go back to the sign up, I'm changing to the login. Yes, now let's see the project. If you go back to the registration, it going to the sign up part. Yeah, something went wrong. Let's see, fix it quickly. Yeah, instead of that, that's the problem with renaming. I have to check everything properly. Yep, back to the sign up. Yeah, I forgot to add one more thing because my RESTful supports name as well, so I need to add name also. Let's add name. This is a text, and giving this also text and name and name. So now back to the sign up page and see. Yeah, I'm trying to create like Superman 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and Superman gmail.com and name also Superman and sign up. Yeah, something wrong with my API, I guess. Okay, anyway, try to log in and test it because I'll try to fix that as soon as possible with the registration. And this is how it works. Maybe I blocked it for my RESTful because of unnecessary user IDs. Yep, try to check with my demo called react.9lesson.info and go here, like try Srinivas and 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'll fix this registration page meanwhile. So just try with Srinivas and 1 2 3 4 5 6 and log in. And next video I'll explain like how the insert is working and this how this time or how to use the RESTful and how to delete it and how to parse it, how to implement this alert. All these things I'll explain. Thank you.